Jimmy, Andy, welcome to Scotland.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You had a decent weekend?
Lovely.
Beautiful place.
Oh, it's beautiful to have you here.
Thank you.
And it's now almost 6 months since we were together in South France, Monaco. What's changed in your lives in the last 6 months?
Okay, I'll go first then. Monaco was a good awakening for me at the end of the day. Just like-minded people sitting around masterminding. I know I love that environment. At the end of the day, you can be yourself. You talk passionately about things you know and things you're learning. The people you spend the time with, the questions that you have to ask to get the correct, and knowledgeable answers in. Since then, I've been working a lot more on my mindset to take in and use the knowledge to the best of my advantage going forward, planning. So it's become a lot of mindset, knowledge and strategy to go forward. Various different concepts to do with property, to do with tax, to do with planning. There's a lot, but it's a lot more structured in my mind since then. So before it was just an idea, now it's a plan. It's actually a proper plan with timescales and everything on it. So yeah, it's been really good.
What about Andy?
Interesting, because I didn't think I was going to get anything from Monaco because I thought I knew what I wanted. But actually, it's given me absolute clarity now. Longevity, plans, future, family, growing for the longer term, and there is scope, and you can do new things. And commercial, this new word for us, commercial.
Do you like commercial property?
I'm hearing lots of positivity about commercial, which would never have understood or known where to begin with that. Or was it an option? Whereas now it's clarity of that. Capital gains and all this, so much new knowledge, absolutely new knowledge that, and coming along on the journey, because Jim started the journey sharing that now. So I'm actually catching up. And so Monaco made me realise that I have to share the journey and not be a bystander in it.
I love watching you two together.
So it's good.
A fun couple, such massive support to each other and also support to the group, which is perfect.
Oh.
I think you've made a few new friends, haven't you?
Yeah, a lot. It's family. It's another family. It's an extension of a family, and it's lifelong.
I think it's also you learn from having different groups, because it's a totally different group of people that we would never have met and never experienced. So it's just and it's out of our comfort zone, because it wouldn't have been something that we would have been doing, and we've been challenged on a social level as well, to look at yourself, look at your friendship, look at your values of your relationships. And the people we've met from Monaco, lifelong friends now. Or I think they're going to be, but
Well,
I want to work on that to be there.
I would be surprised if they weren't.
Yeah.
Watching the whole group together, and including us in that as well.
Just to give you an example, we had breakfast with Kirsty yesterday at 10 o'clock, and 6 hours later we're still sitting around chatting. 6 hours
We sat outside
later.
the cafeteria, went for a bit of lunch, came back to the cafeteria, and then Jamie came and we came.
I don't think I've ever had a 6-hour breakfast.
Yeah. So that's a friendship.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I think, not that you weren't happy, Andy, but I don't think I've ever seen Jim happier than when he was driving Jonathan's boat.
That was amazing.
Can't forget.
That's the most powerful thing I've ever had under my control. So yeah.
I think the gift it's two gifts actually. I think the first is you and Annika have given us a gift to be part of this, and I know people, you're going to have to pay for this. There's no, that's fine, but put in that as, but there's something extra. I mean, that nothing could replace for me that moment when Jim was in, and I believe, and he's got to believe, he absolutely deserves that moment of absolutely pure joy. You can't buy that.
I was sitting next to
Jonathan
you.
gave that gift.
Yeah.
But Jimmy enjoyed it to his fullest,
Yeah.
and
we're
the
never
pleasure I got from seeing him do that, to me, is worth everything. It was just
goosebumps.
incredible. It's just incredible.
It was an amazing moment.
And talking about Jonathan, I mean, what an amazing guy. Jonathan
Absolutely.
is well, on the one hand, so wealthy, but on the other hand, so modest and such a supportive person. Have you been in touch with him? Or I know you've met him because we've had dinners with him since.
Yeah, we have. We met them there, and we would love to arrange something to meet them again. They were so accommodating when we were on the boat with them, or the yacht with them, and they did everything for us. And I thought, like you said, for the type of person you imagine it to be, so down to earth, so normal, so unbelievable, and willing to give. which is lovely. And sharing the knowledge of Jonathan and Helen for those 2 days, I think will stay with all of us forever. And we learned a lot from someone, and some very, very interesting words that he chose to, to use them.
But it was a surprise to me that he was so ruthlessly focused on his health regime, and that certainly given me things to think about.
Yeah. But it showed, and he explained it. It's the first thing he does every day.
Yeah.
It's the most important way to start his day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's had an effect, I think, on a few people in the group. Yeah.
All of us, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're going to talk about more, specifics or more hard-edged things, I know you two have got a fabulous amount of property in London. You've been thinking about additional strategies to diversify your risk a little bit outside of a specific strategy in London. So what's on your hit list? What's the sort of top 2 or 3 things that you might do in property next?
Commercial for sure, in many aspects, not just, when I first came into commercial, and maybe like Andy's now picking up bits and pieces, it's not just one strategy. You have to have a strategy in place for any property you come across. Similar to any buy-to-let from my previous. What was I looking at? Was I looking at short leases? Was I looking at adding value? Was I looking below market value? So you have to have the range of that. You guys have given me the knowledge to do that. I just wasn't ready at the beginning mindset-wise, which I've worked on tremendously to be able to apply that knowledge in future strategies going forward. So it will be with commercial, it will be with either residential or offices above, or any form of commercial, whatever it is, whether it's conversion or whether it's to keep on in.
Shops and upper parts.
Absolutely, yeah. And what you can do with it. I don't look at the high street in the same way anymore.
No,
I can't.
I can't. Every time he goes past, you go, that Costa's in there. Do you know how much that's worth? And it's like, oh.
And then I go home and investigate. Right, they're 5 years into a 15-year lease. They've got, and when you can measure it, you can work it, and it triggers. But without having that knowledge, it means nothing.
Powerful.
It's just
knowledge.
under your nose and you don't see it. So
I know that you're looking at commercial. I also know that you're potentially looking at a secondary area outside of London.
I am.
You've not necessarily nailed it down yet, but you're looking at a second gold mine area, aren't you?
I am.
So is that work in progress, or have you chosen your area?
No, I think I've chosen one specific area, but I'm not tying myself down to one area. I want to make friendships with agents, commercial surveyors, tax specialists in certain areas, in certain fields, and I'm not going to restrict myself to where the commercial is. I'm quite happy on this journey of my learning year, let's say, to travel all the way up and down the country. We're sitting in Glasgow at the moment. I live in London. I'm very akin to coming up to Doncaster. It's become a second home for me at the end of the day. If you're prepared to travel, that's what you've got to do to get your journey. I will go with the knowledge. And I've always said to Andy, I wasn't ready before. So I'm ready now, and I found my teacher.
No.
And the pupil, the teacher appears when the pupil's ready. So you've been around for a few years. I haven't been ready. I am ready now. So yeah, I'm not scared about traveling, especially when it's commercial. On full repair and leases, the work's all up front. The rest is,
100%.
you don't have to worry. So it's completely different to what I do at the moment.
Are you still looking into your pensions? Have you?
Yes, that's a big driver for us.
SIPs, SASs?
Yep, we're building up our SIPs at the moment. As you know, we're sitting right. We've got contributions going in this year, on yours especially. We want to get it to the point where we can be, looking at SASs going forward, but we've got to be realistic. That's a plan going forward. We know, the yield growth and your rate of return will depend on how quickly your SIP grows, and the investments that we make have to be astute. So yeah, that all fits in together, and that comes where the tax advantage comes in, where you understand that as well. So I'm not just happy to fob it off to somebody, I want to understand it, because it's part of the game.
All right, so if we start to wrap this up, so we get back on with the rest of the day, we'll go back and do some more masterminding. If there's somebody watching this thinking, is the Formula One for me? Be it Monaco, be it Monza, be it Abu Dhabi, it doesn't really matter where it is, does it?
Yeah, no.
It's the same thing. And they're worried about the cost, or is it right for me? What words of advice would you have for them? Because you've been through it, you've done it.
Do you want to start on that one?
No, you go.
Okay, all right. For me, obviously, you've got to part with some money, but I made a very early indication to yourself that if I'm going to invest in someone, I invest in myself and my knowledge going forward that I can then share with my family and my loved ones going forward, and maybe myself help others going forward at the end of the day. So I'm always going to be grateful for that. But yes, it's an investment in myself that I did. Was it hard? It always is when you're parting with money, but same when you're buying a house, when you're buying new furniture, when you're buying a car. You look at those more as liabilities more than assets. This is an asset that you will carry with you forever. So can I say, I had to do it again, there would be no doubt this time. And it's always the same whenever you first do something. You've always got to be skeptical, because that's the way us humans are made, to be like that. But once you've done it and you achieve it, you can see the value. And this isn't a cliche or anything. The first deal will pay for everything over and over and over again. So it doesn't, you're investing for something that will give you the value back in a short period of time. And then you've got all the rest. So you use 5%, you've got 90% left as well after. So yeah, no brainer in my eyes. If you want to go somewhere, you've got to take action and do something for yourself and help others.
And if you, like us, our families is our highest value, investing on that one little bit, the outcome for our family for years, and hopefully when they have intergeneration, it's really value for money, honestly. It's cheap. So, so don't think about it as a short-term gain. It's the long-term gain of where you're going to be and where your family's going to be, and maybe the next generation are going to be. So as I've always say, you have choices to make. So this for us was never a choice. Now, on the outside of it, it just doesn't even feel like it should have been a choice. You just have to do it. If you want to change your life, you've got to get the knowledge. You've got to be with people who are like-minded, and you've got to believe that this is going to be one of the good investments you're going to make in your life. So, and lots of us out there have got small portfolios, little bits of portfolios, but as Jim says, invest in yourself must be the biggest thing. So invest in your well-being, in your mind, physical, but also in your knowledge. Why skimp on your knowledge is what I say. We send our children to university for $9,000 a year. As adults now, just reinvesting, because we're always learning, and learn from people who know. Choose your mentors wisely, and I think Jim has done that. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
I was going to add, actually, the going out there, you're not sure what you're going to get. You've got 8 people, 8 or 10 days, 10 marvellous days. You've got a whole day on yourself. You've got guest speaker who turned up. You've got yourself and Aniko who are giving information. But I knew I would learn a lot more from the others around the table, because I've been in mastermind scenarios, but I wasn't aware that 8 or 10 days, as we were, day after day after day, how enjoyable it was and how much you take away. You can't believe the amount of notes I wrote on some of the others, and the amount of knowledge that came through watching you, the knowledge you gave in that each strategy to each different person in different areas, just cemented my learning so much more. So you get all of that. It's not just you, it's everything around you. The quality of the teaching, the quality of the people, the quality of the questions.
But I just also say, for Jim, looking where his journey has been, it's just incredible that he just is, he's a new person. Yeah. He really is.
I get it all the time from all my friends and family.
This is not the person,
where did it come from?
And to be able, at this age, mature age,
I'm 53 by the way.
to reinvent yourself and to have the self-belief, because you've now got people who are giving you knowledge, the emotional support to reinvent yourself. It's just, you have to do this to know what we're talking about. But
it's fulfilling.
It's just incredible. So to me, it was worth every single minute and every single penny.
Yeah.
And if I was going back again, because I was skeptical, don't be. Absolutely don't do it. Don't be skeptical about worrying about it. Just do it.
You won't regret it.
Yeah, you won't regret it, because we don't.
Thank you, my lovely couple. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.